Here are 6 reasons for a tragic downfall of hydrogen cars and why Tesla won. Hydrogen cars are supposed to make trillions of dollars, and at school, I vividly imagined a time where I would drive a car that runs on water, which is basically hydrogen. I imagined it so vividly I could literally smell it, and now we can actually smell the future because Toyota can make a hydrogen car run on poo. You can make hydrogen from basically anything is the point, but that is not the kind of feature that I imagined. So let's break down what went wrong.
Tonight, I'm proposing $1.2 billion in research funding so that America can lead the world in developing clean, hydrogen-powered automobiles. Let us promote hydrogen fuel cells as a way to advance into the 21st century.
What went wrong? Clearly, the president at the time in 2003 was supporting hydrogen strongly. I mean, at that time, when you looked at hydrogen, it made so much sense. Look at this. When you put gasoline in your car, that's only about 16% effective. You only are using 16% of the energy in that gasoline to power your vehicle due to inefficiencies in your car and the whole process that takes to get that gasoline into your car, including petrol stations and all the infrastructure. But as you can see, hydrogen here is 33% effective, and it can be even higher than that. On top of that, the car runs silently. It's basically like an electric vehicle. It only spits out water, so there's no pollution, and you can refill the car in 5 minutes, just like a regular gasoline car. And this is where we come to the first reason for the downfall of hydrogen cars, because when you look at electricity and cars powered by electricity, the efficiency of the energy is about 80%. You see, hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. The second one is so far, it's not even worthy of mentioning, but hydrogen is so abundant that you would think it would be everywhere, and it is everywhere in the universe, but on Earth, it's not the most abundant element. On top of that, to get hydrogen, you need to extract it from other molecules. It just does not hang out by itself. It's like putting an extrovert into solitary confinement. It's possible, you can do it, but it's gonna be really hard, and that person is not gonna be happy with you, and that person will want to get back with others as soon as possible. The moment you let that person out of that solitary confinement, it will be hanging out with everyone again. There's literally no hydrogen on Earth that you can find where it is just by itself. So you need to take water, for example, and then turn water into hydrogen by taking oxygen away from the water. And we can definitely do that, but to do that, usually we will use natural gas. And when we do that, the energy that we create, if we use it to create hydrogen, imagine this, you can only go 33 miles in a car, but if you use that same natural gas to create electricity, you will be able to go 77 miles in your car. That is the efficiency of electric vehicles. And hydrogen, sure, is a lot more effective than internal combustion vehicles, but it's nowhere near as effective as electric vehicles. And this real engineering chart shows you the difference in price that you pay when you charge your Tesla Model 3, which is what I have. You're only paying a few cents per mile or kilometer, but with hydrogen, you're paying like 10 times more. So the first 3 reasons for the tragic downfall of hydrogen are: number 1, inefficiency; number 2, high fuel costs; and number 3, on top of that, hydrogen is usually made using natural gas, which emits a lot of CO2, which is what we want to avoid. And for those who say, oh, just use renewable energy to make hydrogen. Okay, but if I use solar panels to make electricity, I will be able to go twice as far in my car than if I use that energy to convert into hydrogen and then use a hydrogen car. Why would we ever do that? Oh, but that's not it. It gets a lot worse still. But these first 3 reasons is why Elon Musk says this about hydrogen cars.
I think that they're extremely silly.
Also, hydrogen cars, they basically suck. I mean, Toyota Mirai is 9.1 seconds to 60 miles an hour. While for the same price, a little less actually, you can get a Tesla that will be 50% faster, basically. So why would you get the Toyota Mirai? Tesla is so clearly dominating the electric vehicle market, which is why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio, actually. I have another video in which I explain why I only own Tesla stock. Reason number 4 for the tragic downfall of hydrogen cars is the crazy expensive infrastructure. Just to build one station for hydrogen, you gotta drop $2 million, as you can see in this chart from Dona Media, versus for gas station, just 300,000, and charging stations for electric vehicles, you can build those really quickly, relatively cheap. On top of that, you have electricity literally in every single house in the world. Almost. So you already have the infrastructure versus for hydrogen, you have nothing. And on top of that, then you produce hydrogen, either pressurize it or liquefy it, because just as a molecule, if you don't do that, you would basically need to carry a gigantic hydrogen tank in your car, and no one really wants to do that, and transporting it would be basically impossible if you did not do it. So there's a lot of expense in all of this. And now we're gonna break the biggest myth really out there, which is gonna be reason number 5 for the hydrogen downfall. I can't believe how this still exists, and for that, we need to look at this YouTube channel, Physics Girl, which, by the way, Physics Girl, she's very pretty. But what she did in this video is a little bit naughty. Let me explain in a second. And by the way, I really like her channel. So this is not really a criticism. It's just, I don't know, a little naughty. Check this out.
When it comes to carrying more weight, going farther, going faster, fuel cells have the advantage. And the reason why is because of one graph, and I'm going to show it to you guys right now. What you're seeing here is, on this axis, you're seeing the vehicle test weight. So that's how heavy the vehicle is. And then over here, you're seeing the range. So fuel cell and battery electric vehicles start out about the same. It's worse than a linear scale upward as you increase the range of lithium ion battery vehicles. When you get up to 400 miles, you're looking at a difference of about 1,500 kilograms.
Admittedly, I am not a physics guy. I am more, well, when I see a chart, I feel warm inside, and maybe that's why I placed top 20 in National Math Olympics in a country of 3 million people. That's probably why. So I'm more of a math guy, and right now, we're gonna do math. You will do nothing, I will do math. I'm also not a Photoshop kind of guy, but I managed to update this rather roughly right. What you see right here is a new line. This is Tesla Model 3 all-wheel drive long range. And this is Lucid Air, which has 520 miles of range. And as you can see, now the graph looks a lot different. And why does it look different? Well, it's because I did math, but most importantly, it's because when you look down here, it says Thomas, 2009, which really puts me in a comma. Then someone uses a chart for electric vehicles from 2009 in 2021, which is when that video was recorded, and now it's 2022. You can't really do that if you want to be fair. But I understand we all get busy, and I really like Physics Girl YouTube channel. By the way, this is not a diss or anything. I'm just pointing out what is probably a genuine mistake. They were probably in a hurry, and it looked nice, but now it looks quite different. I mean, already what I did right here took a while to edit this. Not really, but you know what I mean. Another thing I would like to point out is that this chart actually could be still quite a bit lower, because Tesla Model 3, that's a premium vehicle, all-wheel drive. If it was just with one motor, it would be significantly lighter. And Lucid Air, come on, that car costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it is incredibly fast. If you strip it down to an actual car, this graph would go even lower, which would make it even better. And as you can see in this vendor productions chart, this is the average price of battery packs for electric vehicles over time. So that graph was made before 2010, and as you can see, the price for batteries has dropped basically about 10 times since that previous graph was made. And this law predicted this. According to Wright's law, for every cumulative doubling of units produced, battery cell costs will fall by 28%. What I'm saying here is that battery innovation is absolutely real, and the energy density is going to increase and the weight of batteries is going to decrease, while there's going to be even more energy in those batteries, which will also, I believe, will make electric planes possible, because we already have small electric planes that are working. So this was really the only thing that hydrogen had going for it, was density that electric batteries had not going for it. So it's not so much that hydrogen had a good thing, it's that batteries at that time had a bad thing going on, but now it's basically all mostly solved. Which leads me to number 6 reason for hydrogen car downfall, and that is when you look at Tesla, for example. The first car that Tesla came out with, Tesla Roadster, was super fast. It was as fast as basically a Porsche 911, some roughly in that range. And the efficiency, the amount of electricity that it consumed was much more effective and efficient than a Toyota Prius. Now that's something. You're driving a sports car that's emitting less than a Toyota Prius, that's quite something. And now Tesla has the fastest production vehicle on Earth, Tesla Model S Plaid. It takes you to 60 miles an hour in less than 2 seconds, 1.99 seconds. Insane. Tesla literally makes the best world's car, period, at least the fastest. How about hydrogen cars? How good are hydrogen cars? Oh, and by the way, the Tesla Model S Plaid, basically anyone that has a tiny bit of money with a relatively good job can actually afford, unlike, a Bugatti that would be millions of dollars. Basically, any lawyer could really buy a Tesla Model S Plaid. So not only it's the fastest car, but it's also, in relative terms, affordable. But of course, for most people, it's crazy expensive. But it makes the headlines. People are talking about it. But hydrogen vehicles, this one is slow. And it's true for most of them. There's one that we're trying to make go really fast. But let's face it, the truth is, this car is not only shit, but it can also run on shit. Although I really mean that as a compliment, I think. And that's one of the reasons why I only hold Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. I actually explained the main reason for why I do that. Well, it's really better returns. When you look at the returns, Tesla stock like 10x in a few years. And I believe Tesla stock will 10x again by 2030. And I share with you number 1 reason why I only hold Tesla stock in my stock portfolio in this next video. Click on it right now, and I'll see you there. My name is Matt Postis. I'm a millionaire serial entrepreneur and investor. Thank you for watching.